these cute little espresso mugs. I've always been making, like, I don't know if YouTube sees it as much. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that like half my diet is just coffee. But I always drank it out of like coffee mugs. And Courtney recently picked up like this little pack of espresso cups, mugs, things. Kinda love them. They help keep me alive and moderate my espresso intake. Because now I can't accidentally fill up half a coffee mug with espresso. I gotta keep it in the little one. In other news, I know that some of you guys have probably seen this. I built Steve a little pot. For those of you guys that like pay attention, you've definitely seen this in some of the videos because it's been done for like at least a week or so. And he's happy as can be. So remember, Stance Wars is July 13th. Come out, say hi, use code Robbie to save money on tickets. That's all the crap I have for you guys. So pretty much today what I want to do is I want to just take this down to like, I guess, the way it used to be. Because we put so much Bondo on here, man. I don't know what the hell we were thinking. We were having a blast and that's what matters. Like a 1/4 inch of Bondo on here. Like that, there's a lot of Bondo. And obviously the only issue with that is that these were meant to bolt onto stock body fenders. So they were not meant to be bolted onto fenders that already have a different shape. So they're not gonna work perfectly if we don't get rid of all this Bondo. I debated going to like a junkyard and taking some of the front fenders because you can get front fenders that don't have like a 500,000 layers of Bondo on it, and save myself some time, and then I don't have to like sand that all down. I could just replace the fender as a whole. The problem is a lot of those fenders that are out there right now, a lot of stuff that you can get, they're like abused or they're rusting or they're just not good. And I'd rather keep mine. Mine aren't rusting, mine are in great shape. I'd rather keep mine, use mine to the best that we can. You know, cost me a couple hours worth of sanding on these fenders, but I'd rather put the couple hours worth of sanding into the fenders and know I have solid non-rusted fenders. We gotta take my favorite tool. Oh, beautiful. It's already got 40 grit. 40 grit's a little aggressive, but it will chew through this Bondo super fast. The OG body line back, and then this is where the Bondo stopped and the primer started, so I'm gonna have to just give it a quick prime before we do anything else. But all the Bondo's off. I didn't remember how messy sanding Bondo was. Like it's a huge mess compared to sanding paint or something. The camera doesn't see it, but I need to get out of here for a minute. It's real dusty. I don't think the camera sees it the way it should. I don't mean the way it should, I mean like the way I do. The back of my garage has like this little cutout. We need to do the whole siding, obviously, don't worry about this. Like the whole siding needs to get done. But like we rent and I ain't paying for that. Anyways, it has this little thing, I think it used to be a window and they got rid of it and they just completely boarded it up. That would put itself right about there, like dead center in the back of the wall. And I've been thinking about like blowing through that, putting like a big fan with a filter on it or something, so that when I'm doing jobs like this, I can like crank that fan on, it can filter it so it doesn't blow dust all into like the people's yards and stuff, but it can filter the air out, at least move some air. Do any of you guys have something like that? Does anybody out there have a similar situation or like a similar setup? And if so, comment and let me know like if it works, how well it works, and if it would be worth buying like a really nice fan for there, like a, I don't know what you would call it, but like a more like industrial sort of fan with a filter on it. If you guys have any experience with anything like that, you guys have something similar, comment down below and let me know how that works or how it will work, because I'm really interested in doing it myself, but I've never seen it done before. I'm just kind of making it up in my head. I don't even know if it's a real thing. Oh yeah, you can see it on camera now. Whew. This thing looks like I just pulled it out of the friggin' ditch. Man, I'm like a snowman. Holy dude, I hope you can see that on camera. So one thing that you guys haven't really been shown yet, I didn't know how much, that was a terrible sentence. I didn't know what we were gonna do, so I didn't tell you guys yet, but essentially if you guys look at this fender, if you remember when we first got this thing, this was like the worst, this back corner was like the absolute worst for rust. We fixed this side and the other side, but this one was like 10 times worse. It was terrible to fix. And we tried our best to like Bondo it together and do all that, but clearly we didn't do the greatest job. On the other side's fine. Like if you guys look on this side, it's like completely seamed. And then if you look underneath it, we like hit it with an undercoating. Like this side, this was done properly. I mean, sanded it a little bit too much right here. But like aside from that, it's pretty much good over here. We noticed that like this opened back up. This is a big flailing gap. And the reason is like there was no metal here to begin with. Like we were playing with nothing when we did this the first time. So this is all rotten right here. There's like a little bit of a gap gone. I think that was already gone when we got it. But just to prevent shit from like getting up in here and then going down and resting it all in there and just making issues that we don't need. I think we're gonna we're gonna try and fix this properly. So we have the welder now. Okay, what's your plan, big guy?
We're gonna get rid of all this. Then we're gonna put a new piece of sheet metal, weld it on, clean it up, so we can get rid of all this.
Could just do the whole thing with Bondo, but like we want to do it right, especially now that we're gonna make it like nice and put a nice kit on it. We don't want to completely ruin it. We're gonna learn together on this one. We're gonna go out and buy some metal, and then I guess just like Emerson said, we're just gonna mold the metal to it. So I've never done anything like that. I have literally, that's just like, I guess similar to like tubbing a car, where like we're just rebuilding the whole fender well. Okay, do you want to start by going to get this metal and then making it happen, or what? Also, someone vandalized your car. I'm not really sure what happened there. It wasn't me. I came in the garage and it was vandalized. So we went out, we picked up just like a 24 by 24 sheet of metal. It's just like a 2 by 2 sheet of steel. It's not like super thick, but it's supposed to work. We wanted to try and find like a fender or something for like maybe a trailer, because that's another option that a lot of people do, is they use like trailer fenders, but nowhere that sells those is open at this time, and we kind of have a deadline that we want to get to. So we're gonna try and make our own do with this. This should be enough for both sides. I know Emerson has a better idea of what we're doing than I do. You got your 4K vision? Dude, you want the welding mask? Dude, look at what we got. After the welding video, Eastwood sent out this sick welding mask. It also doubles as like a grinding mask because it's got such a sick view. But look at this thing, dude. I've literally never seen anything like this. I'm new to welding, but like, look at this thing, dude. It's got a 180-degree view. How dope is that? Have you ever like seen something like this?
Nope.
Never, eh? I didn't even know they made these. This is literally a 180-degree view. It's got all your adjustments and stuff up top. Why do you look like Simon right now? Look at that. Look at that cute little classic Asian hair dye shit. Get that out of your hair. Yeah, this side is mangled, man. And we say bye-bye.
Look at that.
Dude, that was a solid Bondo job. That was a solid effort if I do say so myself. Oh, man. We should have had the windows, I guess the windows down would have let shit in there. Just like an actual fire started in here. This is where, when you send me a million air fresheners, I find uses for them. That is better. I don't know what it's catching.
Spin it the other way.
We never thought this was gonna be a one-day process, but it almost looks like it's gonna be a 3-day process. But it's just because this is a way more serious way than just slapping Bondo on holes, and it sucks, but hopefully it's gonna be worth it. I took a grinding wheel to that, took a grinding wheel to the inside, and it's completely bare metal everywhere except right here, which is seam sealer. I don't really know how to get that off. Today, the main task is getting the new fender liners in there. Essentially, that's what this is. This is gonna be a new fender liner. Scared I'm gonna go right through it. So I took a piece. This is a piece that we cut out from one of the fender liners. This is just a nasty ass rusted piece. I took it, I ground down a little clean spot there. Then today, before Emerson gets here after school, I'm going to cut a little corner out and try and weld them together. Sure, I can do it fine. I'm sure there's no problems, but people have scared me by saying like, you can burn through it, you can burn holes, you can ruin things. And if no one told me that, I probably would have jumped right into the car and just started going. But people scared me. People told me I'm gonna ruin things. People told me it's gonna get too hot and burn through. And now I'm scared. I'm actually really glad I did this. I turned the voltage way down. Last time we were running at like 18 volts to get through whatever gauge we were using. This is at like 14 volts, which maybe is still high, honestly, I don't know. It's coming through the metal. But like, for instance, these were 3 different voltages that I tried. And on the other side, dude, it came right through. Hey buddy, oh, are those Frosties? Do you get chocolate or vanilla?
I got chocolate.
Oh, yeah, thanks dude. You're right in time, I need your help.
I'm on coffee break still.
That's okay, let's have a frosty break. I don't know if you'll be proud of me, but I'm proud of me. I welded this piece of like fender thing, this old piece, I welded it to this little piece and it went like through. Is that too much?
All that side?
No. So it just went through that much.
It's a little hot.
It's a little hot, right? I turned it down a bit. One thing at a time. Thanks, man.
Exactly like that.
You want me to hold it like that and then you can tack it there? Hey, nice. Tell them what happened. What'd you do?
Well, I just don't want to do it again.
Pretty much, we welded this much. We welded like this first piece that we put in here. Like it looks good, it's all welded up. Emerson like did a nice job. It's not the most beautiful thing like I said, but it works, it's good. But the issue that we're running into is this is getting so hot. I don't know if the camera will be able to see it. But like, because the car is such a thin gauge of metal, is that correct? Yeah. Dude, they can't see this at all. Oh, kind of, here you can. So like, if you look, it dips, dips, dips. You can kind of see it. The camera's not doing a great job, but like, it's really wavy, like terribly wavy. Because the metal's so thin, it's like, it's buckling in, and it's not the worst thing that could happen. It's being sealed properly, but because it's getting so hot and stuff, I'm gonna have to go back around if we keep doing it this way. We're gonna have to do this, and then I'm gonna have to go back over it with Bondo. Like right here, this whole thing needs to be Bondoed and then sanded and make it nice and flat. I think the most obvious one you guys can see is like right here. Like you can see that huge dent that's not supposed to be there. So now we're stuck because we're trying to figure out what to do, because obviously we're gonna need to replace the fenders that we cut out. We're gonna need to weld all the stuff in there. But like Brad suggested using maybe like seam sealer on there, but Emerson has some misconception that seam sealer is gonna ruin everything. It's gonna mold or whatever. I don't know anything about seam sealer. I don't know anything about welding. So I'm just here to talk to you guys and let these idiots figure it out. You're not an idiot, I love you. Not happy about this.
Well, yeah, it kind of changes things.
It does change things. What do you want to do about it? This is also why the 240 build moves so slowly. Every time I ask them a question, that's what I get. Right? Like, hey, what motor do you want to swap in there? That's my you impression. Nothing ever happens, man. So if this was your car, here's a scenario. I take a cutter to that. I cut it all up. I start welding it while you're gone. You come home, it looks like that. You're mad about it. You want to fix it so it doesn't look like that. What do you do on the other side so it doesn't look like that? On your car, do you weld it? Even though you know it's gonna be bad? We're getting seam sealer. We just got schooled so hard. We went to Lordco and there was like people that know shit there. Usually people that work at Lordco are like, not all the brightest. But there was this guy that knew a lot of shit and he basically told us what we're gonna do for the rest of this. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can keep welding it for all the people that are gonna yell and be like, you should just keep welding it. We can keep welding it with like water and like a wet rag and it stops it from rippling and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's gonna take forever. Because we're just gonna rip off the interior panels real quick on the inside. We're gonna put like some tacks, like across, like little beaded sections. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Little sections of welds. And then we're gonna seam seal the rest from the inside. So we're gonna take the panels out and we're just gonna jam seam sealer in there from the inside so it oozes out and seals it properly. And unless, it doesn't. Either way, it works, it doesn't, it doesn't. We're gonna give it a go. Anything's better than the Bondo we did last time, really.
Wood and undercoat. And
I don't think so. Huge thing of brush on seam sealer. Got a couple brushes. And we're essentially just gonna keep going, but just less welding, more seam sealing. So for anybody that's curious, oh, that didn't focus at all. When you do the Bondo job, like the Chris Fix way, which is literally what we did, shout out to Chris Fix, we followed his tutorial exactly and Bondoed this thing ourselves about a year ago. And in that time, the metal that was not rusting now looks like this. Like I just pulled this out from right behind a piece of Bondo. So I'm not saying that's his fault, obviously. He didn't create this, he just showed people how to do it. Why is my autofocus not happy today? He didn't invent this. I'm just saying, like if you guys use that method, in our experience, with about a year's time and a little bit of winter driving, it rusted again. Holy shit. So I'm gonna have to go and like drill those. Seems like an issue for future Robbie, but future Robbie's gonna have to come in and like drill out the rest of those and then put like a nut and bolt through there. That was the most seized bumper I think I've ever seen in my life. Essentially, I guess there's different ways you could do a rust repair like this. This is the like we know how to do it way. So Emerson's gonna weld this here and then I can like Bondo over it and fill it all in. So the fender flare is gonna cover most of it.
This is just so the bumper can bolt them.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow we put that little piece in here, so then it's just gotta be bent up and sliced and ready to go. But this is where we got today. This is the progress we made. I know it doesn't really look like much, but we got the little corner piece in, we got this piece on, and then you guys can see in here, it's not the prettiest, but it's welded. Essentially, we'll just grind it all down and then put the seam sealer, and then I'll Bondo the outside. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of keyboard warriors that are gonna be yelling at us, saying that this is not how you do it, or blah, 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 but we're learning, and that's what it's all about. Perfect example of not having an idea what we're doing. So, this is part one of a DIY, what would you even call this? DIY rust repair, new fender wells.
Plastic. We could have got that, heat it up, put it on there, call it good.
Okay, so DIY rust repair. I hope we're doing it right. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are excited because really what this is doing is giving us a solid foundation for the body kit. The body kit will have something very solid to hold on to, whereas before it really didn't. There you go, buddy. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a big fat like if you made it to the end. Don't even comment anything, just like it because that shows me that you guys made it and you love us. You're excited to see the body kit. So that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.